All right, guys, welcome back to another video. I want to talk about 5 more games that I'm playing on the Analogue Pocket, and these are games that I just are checking out. I've never played them before. I've played a lot of games in my life, but what this device is doing for me is allowing me to check out games that I didn't know existed or I haven't played previously in the past. And these are games I think if you have the Analogue Pocket and you have the Open FPGA cores installed, I recommend checking out because they're a lot of fun and I'm really enjoying myself. So let's jump right into it. First up here, we have Bionic Commando Elite Forces for the Game Boy Color. And one of the best things right off the bat for this game is the music. It's worth playing through the entire game just because of how good the music is. I'll play a quick clip for you so you see what I mean. Overall, I mean, the gameplay is fun. You have your grapple, you're going through, there's different types of levels, like an overhead top-down shooter, the side scrolling. There's different things you do within levels, like sniping. So if you get to an area, you hit up on the D-pad, a sniper comes up and you have to take out the enemies within a certain period of time. And it just plays well. The shooting is fun. It's a great game to check out. It looks good too. The graphics are pretty good here for the Game Boy Color, so definitely go check this one out. Up next is Blazing Lasers for the TurboGrafx 16, and the TurboGrafx 16 is a console that I never had, so I never really got to play many of these games back in the day, and being able to check them out right now on the Analogue Pocket is awesome. And Blazing Lasers, my God, is this a good game? Maybe one of the best games I've played in a while. The shmup, vertical, and everything about this game is good. The graphics, the sound, the actual gameplay mechanics, and the upgrading of your ship as you're playing through the level, and the tiers that you can get by getting the weapons more powerful and then getting like shields and just really choosing how you want to play. The difficulty is good too. I mean, it starts off easier than when you get further on into the game, but once it gets harder and you're dying a lot, you still want to continue to play through this game, and to me that's a great sign of a good game. The boss fights are fun and have really great designs, and just game looks so good, especially on the Analogue Pocket screen. Up next is Crash Bandicoot: A Big Adventure. I mean, it's Crash, but they've taken it and they've transferred it to a side-scrolling game with a side-scrolling view, and it's difficult, it's fun, it's tight in its gameplay. I mean, there's not much more to say about that, but it has a lot to do, lots of levels to play through, has good music, good sound, and you kind of have to be pixel perfect on a lot of your jumps and stuff with this game because it does get very difficult. It lulls you into it being easy, and then as you progress through the levels, just the singular levels, it gets harder and harder. So really cool game. Definitely go check it out. Final Fight 1 here for the Game Boy Advance, and this is one that pretty much is the same thing as the Super Nintendo game that came out. This is a port over to the Game Boy Advance, and it has all the characters that you get to play as, like Cody and Hagar and Guy. And one of the biggest differences I would say with this game is there are more characters on screen. I think there's like 5 or 6 that you get to fight at one time, and I believe that was less on the Super Nintendo version. So it can be a little bit harder. The sound is a little bit more compressed with the GBA, so I don't think it sounds as good as the SNES, but if you like beat 'em ups, you like Final Fight, I would recommend checking this one out. Finally, we have FZero Maximum Velocity. FZero Maximum Velocity, a racing game, a launch game for the GBA in the FZero series. Really fun racer with the Grand Prix that you play through. It's super fast. Different tracks. The tracks kind of seem similar because there isn't that much you can do in terms of the way that they look in the different varieties, I guess, with this game, and how fast the car has to go around, or the ships have to go around, and the actual layout of them and the look of them with the graphics on the GBA. But still fun, very fast paced, can get very difficult. You really have to learn how to play this game, and there's leaning, so it's kind of deceptive because the leaning doesn't really work that well. It's all about throttling that accelerator, continuously hitting, I think it's the A button, instead of hitting the brakes or the leaning when you're going around corners, to make sure you're not always crashing into the wall, because that's the one thing with this game that you may frustrate you as you first start, is that learning curve. But once you get the hang of it and you're going through these courses, it just feels so good because of the speed, and just FZero are fun racing games. So that's it for me, guys. Let me know the games you are playing in the comments below.